Right now, an update to that breaking news in a high-profile trial. Tonight, the family of Aiden McClendon receiving some justice tonight. The jury's finding two teenagers guilty in the killing of the 22-month-old boy. That toddler was killed in January of 2016 while sitting in his car seat after returning from daycare.
Kwame Richardson and Henry Hayes were found guilty on all counts. Two separate juries deliberated their fate. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office tweeting today, Aiden McClendon got justice today, adding, quote, great job to the JSO Homicide Unit and State Attorney's Office, justice served. On your side's Ann Schindler was in the courtroom today, and she joins us now with reaction from outside the courthouse. Ann?
Yeah, well, we're actually back in the courthouse now, Jeannie, but I can tell you emotions have been running so high in this case since the jury was selected last Monday. Both sides, when this verdict was read, erupting in tears. Both sides of the aisles, families of the defendant, families of Aiden McClendon, just beside themselves with tears. But this was the culmination of more than a week of testimony and intense emotion here at the courthouse. Now, this was a complicated case with two juries and evidence ranging from DNA and ballistics to eyewitness testimony. And there was lots of evidence culled from social media. That evidence, prosecutor London Kite said, proved criminal gang activity, which she said was at the root of the killing. Now, we didn't hear from either defendant in the case, and we didn't hear from the man that prosecutors say was the intended target of this drive-by in January 2016. That was Aiden McClendon's uncle, and he refused to cooperate in this case. Defense attorneys pushed back, calling the evidence in the case circumstantial and the witnesses unreliable. But the jury obviously disagreed. They returned a swift verdict. The family of Aiden McClendon was too upset to talk, but they asked Mike Lyles of the Justice Coalition to speak to First Coast News on the family's behalf.
They are, of course, appreciative of the community's interest and involvement. They're satisfied with the verdicts in this case, but all three, the mother, the grandmother, and the great-grandmother, have said this is not a day to celebrate. This is a day of loss for not just their family, but for the defendants' families. We're not immune to the emotions of the people on the other side of the aisle.
Clearly suffering on both sides of this case, but we're going to be back here in August for sentencing, live at the Duval County Courthouse. Ann Schindler, First Coast News, on your side.
And thank you. Our continuing coverage on the Aiden McClendon trial continues online on firstcoastnews.com.
Now